We have played and seen a bunch of Mario + Rabbids Kingdom Battle and are really loving the depth of the game. And there's even more nuances that they keep unveiling throughout E3, throughout their treehouses. And here we are bringing you 10 facts that you probably did not know about Mario + Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So I'm going to start off with one that I think is a shocking number. And the developers said that they have over 250 weapons.
And I asked you if there were... Well, hi, I'm Gabe.
I forgot to introduce ourselves. I'm so excited. I am Jake, and this has been Gabe.
Yeah, Has Been Gabe is in the house. All right, so 250 plus weapons, right?
Yeah.
I asked you, hey, do you think that, they're like all character specific, or can some be shared? How does that work?
I think from what I've seen just on the screens, that they haven't specifically said, or at least I haven't heard it, but that each character is character specific, and they have a primary weapon and they have secondary weapons. But even if you divide it by the 8 characters that are playable, that's still 31 weapons per character. And so like 15 primary and 15 sub weapons that you can swap out, and it's almost way better because then the combinations are insane. But 250 different weapons, and they were talking about how you start off with basic ones that are just, they don't really have any special effect, like the bounce or the push or the fire burn damage or the honey damage or the ink damage. They just start out basic, but then later on they get more varied with different attacks, like basic damage, and then with the super damage, and then range, and all sorts of things. So it does get much more in depth in terms of the stats. They're not all the same, just with like a different skin.
I do want like a couple of these weapons to be like really hard to get. Like I don't know if you played like Final Fantasy VII. Like they had like the emerald weapons and something that you have to like work really hard at to get. But once you have it, it's just like so OP.
I mean, we did see in our demos that you had to collect like the 8 red coins in order to unlock a weapon. So maybe there are some more difficult puzzles later on that unlock like very rare weapons or something.
Very true. Kind of forgot about that. But 250 plus weapons. Who knows what plus means?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of weapons. Even if it's 15 per character per primary and secondary, it's still a hefty amount. It's not like you're just using the same weapons over and over again. So number 2 is the way that the worlds are kind of set up. They do have designated worlds. You start off in like the Ancient Gardens, I think it's called, and each world has a mid boss and then an end of world boss. So
so like a mini boss and a main boss.
Right. So in World 1, they have unveiled that Rabbid Kong is the end of the world main boss. And then I'm assuming that the Parabid plant is the World 1 mid-boss that you go through. And the end world bosses will have like multiple stages, they said. And like the Rabbid Kong boss battle is like up to 30 minutes, they said. So it's much more complex than just a normal combat situation.
The multi-phase boss fights are my favorite.
Yeah. So going along with that, there will be many more crossovers. This is number 3. Many more crossovers, because there is a particular cute little rabbit that is so endearingly named Spawny, because he can spawn new types of enemies. But when he gets stressed out, he has these like weird goggles, and when he gets stressed out, he takes a white rabbit and a Mario universe character and makes the crossovers. Yeah. So he's the one making the Rabbid plants and the
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, the Rabbid Kong and all those characters. So we were wondering if there was gonna be more Rabbid crossovers and Mario crossovers throughout, like the Rabbid Kong, and there will be. So maybe every mid-boss and boss is going to be a different crossover. Yeah,
that could be cool, right?
Yeah,
like depending on how many worlds there are. Like for every mid and end boss to be like a combination. Hey, it's time to take down Evil Toad.
Yeah, maybe Waluigi Rabbid or Wario Rabbid.
Man, imagine a Wario and Waluigi like world where like Waluigi is like the mid boss and Wario's like the end boss. That could be awesome. But it's cool that they did confirm that there are going to be more crossovers, and darn Spawny up to no good. It doesn't even say if he's doing it on purpose or not.
No, I don't think he is. He just gets stressed out and it just happens, I think. But going along with that, number 4 is there doesn't seem to be Bowser in this game. There is a appearance of Bowser Jr. in the newest Treehouse trailer or demo that they showed. And he says that his dad will be very proud of him when he gets back from vacation. So I assume that I took that to mean that Bowser has gone on vacation for the entire game, and this crazy twisted world is now being taken over by Bowser Jr. And he's trying to he lures Spawny into his flying balloon ship, and they fly away to cause more havoc. So I think that Bowser Jr. is the main bad guy of this game.
Yeah, Bowser is off on vacation, maybe on a honeymoon with Peach because he married her.
Maybe he's successful.
Yeah, connect the Odyssey and Rabbids Kingdom battle here. But yeah, I think it's cool that Koopa Jr. or Bowser Jr., whatever you want to call him, that he's going to be like the main bad guy. Again, it's not 100% confirmed, but it seems like a pretty safe bet.
And I think that's a good choice because he's like more of like an innocent, kooky kind of character, whereas like Bowser's more like serious, serious villain. So like this is kind of like a side quest story, not the main Mario games. Yeah. So I think it's a good choice to have.
We even saw him at the end of our demo though.
Right.
Like he does like this little like maniacal laugh.
He's a creepy little man.
Yeah.
All right. So number 5, we'll go with into sort of the more technical standpoint. I made a video talking about the skill tree and the weapons and the character stats, but something I thought was really interesting, they want you to, before you get to a boss battle, they're sort of designated with this big banner, but they really want you to take time to kind of analyze what the battlefield kind of looks like. If it's going to be a close combat battle or a long range battle, is there a lot of cover, is there not a lot of cover? And then you can go into the Battle HQ, is what the menu is called, and you can totally customize, like pick your weapons and different things. But the most interesting thing is you can reset the skill tree at any point.
Except when you're like in the middle of battle.
Yeah, not in the middle of battle, but like once you like choose an upgrade, it doesn't stay there. You can totally reset it.
Yeah.
So you can, per battle, per boss battle, per combat battle, you can change what abilities your characters have, which I think is super cool. And they were talking about how that it lends itself to experimenting with different combinations because each character has their own skill tree, and there is like an autofill feature that if you want to just pick what they think is best, depending on like the skill level and the world you're in, the game will fill the tree for you with the orbs that you have. But I think it's really cool that you can pick new things, and like if you go into a boss battle and it's too hard and you lose, you come back out and like reset your whole skill tree to 0 and then create it however you want to.
I guess it lends itself to being a little bit more like younger person friendly, right? Like if you don't want to worry about like respecing your characters and trying to figure out exactly what abilities, do the auto ability thing. So like I like that that's there for like the people that might not be like super into the RPG elements, but for those of us that are, we can still go in there and respec our characters however we want.
And another cool fact that you may not have known is that there are more than just guns in Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Yes, we see a lot of different types of guns in the game. We have Luigi Sniper, and we have more of the hand cannon, arm cannon, Mega Man style guns. But there's the secondary weapons for each character can be much more varied. They show a sentry, which is like a remote control car looking thing that you can send out on your own. You pick where you want it to move initially, and then it has a sort of radius around it that if a rabbit gets in that radius, it explodes and blows them up and deals a bunch of damage. Or it can move on its own and then blow up when it gets in that range again. Or there's also hammers they showed off in the game. Mario's secondary weapon is hammers, and the hammers are a melee weapon instead of a more mid to long range gun. They are a melee weapon that does area of effect damage, so they can, anybody that's within a 2 or 3 cell range gets damaged by the hammer. So you can run into the middle of a group of Rabbids and smash down and damage all of them simultaneously. And this creates for some really interesting game mechanics and play style, because there are effects like the push and the bounce where you can move or lure different Rabbids into different areas. So maybe you want to push them all back into the same corner and then run in with your hammer and smash them all at the same time. Or maybe you want to push them away and let the sentries go out and just blow them up without having to get too close. I just think it's really cool that there are a bunch of different types of weapons. They all have special abilities with them. They all have different stats. I just think that's a really unique take on the already unique looking weapons. And then going along with that, they showed in the boss battle, they didn't show the whole boss battle, but they showed the first phase of Rabbid Kong boss battle. But in that, they showed this crazy ability. We were like surprised at how far you can move and how far you could chain your team jumps and your dash melee into another movement. But they showed that you can do some crazy combinations of these long chains with the skill tree that you create. So Mario can get this, one example here. Mario can get this, it's called a jump stomp. So he can go and do it. They showed him do a dash attack, which is like the melee, and it's part of the movement. It's not even part of his attack phase. Do the dash, go run over to Rabbid Peach for a team jump, and then team jump on top of an enemy Rabid to do his jump stomp damage, and then do another movement off of that. So really 4 phases.
And then you still have an attack phase that you haven't used.
And your technique that you can use. And your secondary weapon. So you still have all that. You still have primary, secondary, and technique left over. And you get to do 4 different actions in that one movement phase.
Yeah. So that was the next number, by the way. The chaining, the crazy. Right. Yeah, we didn't mention that, but there's gameplay on the screen that you can check out. It looks cool.
Yeah, it is very interesting. And then going along with that, the next point that you may not know is that the boss battles, at least the first one, I'm assuming this is how all the boss battles would be, are multi-phase. So you go and do it, and there's like a unique trait to the boss that you have to figure out how to defeat him or weaken him so you can damage him, and then you'll defeat him one like wave kind of, and then he'll change and morph a little bit, and you will fight him again. So it's not super straightforward where like you just go into a combat situation, there's the map all laid out, you see all your targets, you see the boss, and you have to go and get him to get to him and defeat him. You have to figure out how to approach him, what you need to do to weaken him, how you can make him vulnerable so then you can't attack him, and then once you do figure that out, he changes again, or he or she changes again, and then you have another battle ahead of you, and you have to refigure out what you want to do.
Speaking of figuring out, the last thing here is the way the party structure is. You always have 3 people with you, and one is always Mario, one always has to be a Rabid, the third one is where you have the flexibility. I mean, there is flexibility in that it can be any Rabid. You can have Princess Rabid, you can have Luigi, whoever you want, really. But then the last one is where you can put a Rabid or a Central Mario character.
Right, which is kind of a weird choice. Like Luigi and Yoshi can never be together, or Luigi, Yoshi, and Peach can never be together in the same party.
Yeah, no, so, it has to be like a Rabid.
I wonder if they did that because it was like Ubisoft's first game, and like Miyamoto and Nintendo gave them free reign of everything, so they kind of want to be like, okay, we don't want to mess anything up to have like all Rabbids on the screen, so we're like make sure that Mario's always there.
Mario's the hero,
and then you have one Rabid and then one other character that could be another Rabid, or it could be a Mario character. And then one final point that I just thought of that I think is very important and something that is crucial to the way the game is played. In the demo version that we showed earlier, the gameplay that we captured and got to play, you fully healed yourself post-battle. So as soon as you complete the battle, all your characters in your party went back to full health, which we thought was like, that seems really easy. But in the treehouse, the developers talk about a power that you can get in your skill tree where in the overworld, when you're running around the map, you can collect mushrooms, and the skill tree power is that you gain more health back from eating the mushroom, basically. So that makes me believe that you don't regain full health after each battle. That was just a demo thing to make sure that you didn't die throughout the demo. And in reality, you'll be going through consecutive battles and maybe not be able to heal if you don't find mushrooms. So then that makes it much more, because you could be going into a battle with like half health.
Yeah, well, or maybe the other option is like, you do regain the full health, but then the mushroom gives you extra health. Because in the demo, everybody had, 220, something like that?
Yeah.
So maybe the mushroom gives you up to, 250. So, that's the last little bit about the mushroom there. We don't know exactly which way it goes. I feel like it could go either way.
Yeah. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this extra bonus Rabbids, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle video showing you some of the more nuanced details of the game. Super excited for it. The more they show, the more excited I get.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Because when they first revealed it, I thought it looked cool, but I was like, oh, maybe too easy. But now they're getting really into it. 250 weapons. You can reset your skill tree at any time. It looks amazing. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of the game, what your favorite parts are so far, and make sure to stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already, because we have plenty more E3 to come. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, Switch Force out.